Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about voice specifically. I mean, I consider storytelling to be the action, really, that you're taking. Like you have to have a voice. I think you start with storytelling, and then that's how you find your voice, because you kind of have to storytell. Even as an assistant, you're storytelling. You're putting together the storyboards for the stylist you're working for. Like, you have to learn how to storytell before you necessarily have your voice. So I define voice. Voice is defined as a right to express an opinion, a particular opinion or attitude expressed, the ability to speak, a distinctive tone or style of work. Having a voice means to express something in words, but in our case, it's through a story or images, or a show. So when I was looking, I looked up the definition of voice. What I was intrigued by is that you have a right to have it. So it's definitely something that's earned. And I earned it with all of the assisting and production work I did, but then I really earned my voice at Pop. And that's why I found it there, because I kind of had to. Because suddenly I was shooting all this stuff by myself, and I was like, okay, I got to figure out what the heck I'm doing here. I need to make it consistent, otherwise my book's not going to be worth anything. And to give a stylist a voice is to allow a particular emotion, opinion, or point of view to be expressed. So it's our expression. And it's what attracts our clients to us. It's what, clients being ad jobs, commercial, celebrities, magazines. Like, magazines are attracted to me because of what I do, because of my voice. Like, it's not, and then there are people who are attracted to me because of who I work with, which is usually like BS. And I usually don't like, oh, you work for that person, so I want you to work for us. Like, it's like, no. Usually I choose not to work with those people because they're just, unless they have a really large amount of money, and then, but because it's like we're business people, right? So, but then I also learned that once I started working with these people that just were after me because I'm a certain status, like I became like a status symbol or something. I'm like, that doesn't work. Like, they wouldn't treat me with respect because they weren't treating me, they didn't respect my voice. They just were into the fact that I'd worked for all these magazines and celebrities. And I'm like, well, so fundamentally it didn't end up working. And I'd always end up being like, okay, I'm not going to work with you anymore because you're driving me crazy. But, voice and storytelling are it's like the creative side of what we do. Everything else is logistics and business. And the strategies that we create is, I think designing strategies is really creative. But as far as like the visual, artistic side of what we do, it's completely voice and storytelling, and that's it. Everything else is running logistics and creating processes and being like a good business person. So, let's see what else I have here. So, your voice is only as powerful as your portfolio. Because I can sit and say to someone, oh, I do powerful, sexy, and sense of humor. But they're not just going to take my word for it. They want to see it. And that's where my book comes in to be really, really important, because it shows, when you're working with really powerful people, and celebrities are really smart. And I kind of underestimated them in the beginning, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow, but they ground, really good business people and successful people ground everything you say. So when you say, I do this, and then they're looking to see the proof that you do it. So that's why it's so important I think it's really important with what we do to learn how to speak, because we're constantly making presentations and presenting ourselves to our clients and the teams we want to work with to be able to build our identity, to get hired for jobs and like that. And our voice is the background to all of it. That's why they choose to, Katie Grant chooses to work with me because of my voice. Because she knows what she's getting. And even though it has evolved and it's changed and I've been refining and refining and refining, it's still the same thing. It's still who I am. It's still those three things. And she knows she can depend on those three things from me. And not a lot of stylists have been able to do that. And that's why people drop like flies, because they can't figure out what they're trying to say. They can't do the work that's consistent with what they want to do. Doing consistent work is the most important thing, because that shows that you have a voice. Is this making sense? Okay, cool.